Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Morning Podcast. Let's take a look into Indian markets closing of yesterday. So, Indian equity market continued to scale fresh record highs as Sensex and Nifty crossed 79,000 and 24,000 levels for the first time ever. Both the benchmark indices ended up by 0.7%, while broader market performance was mixed and they basically underperformed the benchmark indices, with Nifty Mid Cap 100 gaining 0.3% and Nifty Small Cap 100 falling by 0.7% at close. If we talk about the Nifty gainers and losers, then on NSE, in fact, the top gainers were Ultratech Cement, Grasim Industries, NTPC, Wipro, JSW Steel, Tata Motors, Kotak Bank, and top losers of National Stock Exchange were L&T, Shriram Finance, Eicher Motors, HDFC Bank, Sun Pharma, ONGC, and Coal India. Taking a look into the sectoral performance on BSE, then BSE Power and BSE IT and BSE Telecommunication indices were the top sectoral gainers as they closed with gains of more than 1%. BSE Oil and Gas, Auto, Metal and Healthcare as well as FMCG indices were also up. On the lower side, BSE Consumer Durables and BSE Realty indices ended on the negative note, with both the indices declining by 0.1% at close yesterday. So since the broader market performance was, kind of mixed and they basically underperformed the benchmark indices, and that was also reflected in the overall market breadth, which was mostly in the favor of declines. So on BSE, about 2,388 stocks declined, and against them, 1,510 stocks advanced. Also, there were about 167 stocks which made 52-week highs, including names like Axis Bank, Bharti Airtel, Godrej Properties, Grasim, ICICI Bank, Reliance, and there were about 15 stocks which made 52-week lows on BSE. On the fund flow side, FIs were net buyers in yesterday's session with a net buying figure of 7,659 crores, while DIs were net sellers with a net sell figure of 3,606 crores. Moving on to the global market cues. So firstly, taking a check on the US market cues. So US market closed muted overnight, registering gains of 0.1 to 0.3%. As investors prefer to remain on the sidelines ahead of the release of the PCA data, that is personal consumption expenditure data, which is scheduled for today. On the economic data front, weekly jobless claims fell more than expected to 233,000 versus expectations of 236,000. Also, the decline in the pace of GDP growth was 1.3% for the Jan to March quarter versus 3.4% which was recorded during the preceding quarter. So that also fueled further hopes for the rate cut in the later part of this year. If we take a look into the Asian market cues, and most of the Asian markets are trading on the positive side at present. So that indicates a higher opening for our market today. Now moving on to the stocks which are in focus. First one is Brigade Enterprises. The company has launched 6-tower residential project in Bengaluru for a revenue potential of 1100 crore rupees. So positive for the company in medium term. Jubilant Ingrevia has received establishment inspection report from US FDA, which has concluded with 0483 inspectional observations. So positive for company in short term. Navkar Corporation can be in focus as JSW Infra's arm, JSW Port Logistics will acquire 70.4% stake of Navkar Corporation at rupees 95.6 per share, thereby triggering the open offer for remaining 26% at rupees 105.3 per share. So overall, this will be positive for Navkar Corporation. Bajaj Auto has started production at first overseas manufacturing plant in Brazil, even as the exports have slumped for the company. But overall, on a medium to longer term perspective, it will be positive for Bajaj Auto. Ambuja Cements is also in focus as Adani Group firm Ambuja Cements board of directors have approved the merger with Adani Cementation Limited with the company. So positive for Ambuja Cements in medium to long term. TVS Motor has incorporated wholly owned subsidiary in Dubai, so positive for the company. Sami Hotels can also be in focus today as GTI Capital Alpha is likely to sell 3% stake in Sami Hotels via block deals. So overall the reaction will however be neutral on the stock in short term. Bharat Heavy Electronics Limited has bagged the 13,300 crore rupees order to set up a 1600 megawatt thermal power plant in Jharkhand from Damodar Valley Corporation. So positive for the company. Reliance Jio has announced an increase in tariffs in the range of 12 to 15%, so it will be positive for the overall telecom stocks as well, as both Bharti Airtel and Vodafone Idea is also expected to follow this tariff hike soon. So all the telecom stocks, in fact, will be in focus today. Swan Energies has said that the prepayment of 300 crore rupees of debt for its floating storage and regasification unit project will be done by the company, so that will be positive for Swan Energy. Also, RBL Bank Board has approved fundraising of up to 3,500 crores via QIPs in one or more tranches via debt securities, so neutral to marginally positive for RBL Bank. Polycab promoters will sell up to 2.04% stake via block deal, so overall it will be neutral for Polycab. Vedanta will raise 2,500 crore rupees via NCDs, so neutral to marginally positive for the company. RVNL has incorporated subsidiary RVNL Middle East Contracting in Dubai, so overall neutral to marginally positive for medium to long term. Also, Ipca Laboratories is also in news as EU court has upheld rupees 126 crores of fine which was imposed on Ipca Lab subsidiary Unicam Laboratories. So overall, it will be neutral news for Ipca Lab. Also, Asian Paints Singapore unit has completed acquisition of 23.4% stake in Egypt's SCIB Chemicals for rupees 34 crores. So overall, neutral to positive for the company. India Cement is in focus as Ultratech Cement will buy 7.05 crore shares at rupees 267.7 per share. Also, Mahindra Lifespace board will be meeting on 24 July to consider the first quarter results. So, with that, the first quarter of FY25 results will also soon start to begin. On the new listing front, today the company Stanley Lifestyle will debut on the stock exchanges, which had come with an IPO and an issue price of rupees 369 per share. The total IPO size was 537 crore rupees. So today that particular company will get listed on the exchanges. Now, taking a look into some of the insider trades which have happened in case of few companies. So first one is MTAR Technologies. Promoter Kavita Reddy Gangapatnam has sold 70,000 shares on 26 June in the company. In Vadwizard Innovations and Mobility, promoter Vadwizard Solutions India has sold 20 lakh shares on 26 June and 7.5 lakh shares on 24th of June. Promoter Evas Business Solutions has also sold 8 lakh shares on 26th of June. In PTC Industries, promoter Alok Agarwal has sold 6,000 shares on 26 June. In Cantabil Retail, promoter Deepak Bansal has bought 84,000 shares on 24 June. In India Cements, promoter Chennai Super Kings Cricket has bought 10,000 shares on 26 June. Now talking about the pledge share data, then in case of Ajanta Pharma, promoter Ravi Agrawal has created a pledge for 4.5 lakh shares on 26 June. In Steel Exchange of India, promoter Umashiv Garments has revoked a pledge for 1.02 crore shares on 25th June. And in case of Mangalore Chemicals and Fertilizers, promoter Zuari Agrochemicals has created a pledge for 9 lakh shares on 25th June. So all these companies can, might also see some kind of reaction in short term. On the corporate action front, today is the ex-dividend date for a lot of companies like Bank of Baroda, IndusInd Bank, Kalpatru Projects International, Maharashtra Scooters, Nippon Life India Asset Management, REC, Swaraj Engines, RPG Life Sciences, Syngene International, Vaibhav Global, Welspun Corp, GIC Housing Finance and Bajaj Holdings and Investments. Also, today is the ex-date for buyback of Godavari Power and Ispat. So these were the key market data points to track going ahead in today's session. This was all about the Daily Morning Podcast. Thank you everyone for listening.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.